Now, we had a visit from the group from ESP, the Extra Special People came, and they visit us at least once a year, sometimes twice. It was a perfect day. They provided crowd noise for our 1-minute drill. It was awesome. We had a chance to spend time with them afterwards, but pretty neat way to finish this this open day practice. So, you know, we had another good day. We got after it pretty good, and I think we improved. You got a question? Y'all waiting for me to pick my nose because it is itching right now.
Sure. Go ahead and get that out of the way. We'll pause. Well, I got something to get to. Probably unpleasant. I mean, just last year, obviously, what happened in the Florida game defensively was, I don't think anybody expected it going in, and certainly had a hard time rationalizing it going out. New staff, you know, same quarterback, a little bit different offense. I mean, is there anything that
I'm sure they'll look at the film from a year ago and see what happened. I mean, there was enough success to take a look. And like you say, same quarterback. So that game plan worked pretty good.
So obviously I would assume this is a game of redemption for the defense. I'm sure Jeremy Pruitt and his guys, want another crack at this.
Well, giving it that much yardage on the ground is not pleasant for any defense. And so we'll be working hard to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Is that something that comes up, at all? Whether it's between you guys as coaches, whether you want to relay that at all to the players at all? I know you guys are doing the whole one game at the time thing, but do you kind of think back that they kind of took you band up last year?
We're playing Florida, and we'll certainly be looking at some of that tape from a year ago. So I don't think we'll have to remind them. You guys do a pretty good job of that, and the fans do. And not that it's bad. It's just reporting the news. Just didn't do a good job last night. Didn't do a good job last year at all.
If I'm remembering it right, there was one of the biggest issues was just the outside linebackers keeping contained and fighting through run blocks. And I know that was a point of emphasis in the preseason and everything else. Mm-hmm. So do you feel like these outside linebackers, guys like Lorenzo Carter and Davin Bellamy, and have improved in that regard?
Well, yeah, they're a year older and a year stronger and all that kind of thing, a year more experienced. And, but it's there was a lot of things that didn't go right that day, so I'm not going to put it on the outside linebackers.
Have you typically used the bye week the way you have this week and kind of the fundamental stuff rather than using it to be 2 weeks to prepare a game plan?
We have. What happens is, like, for example, Sunday we had recruits in town, official visits. Monday we did need to clean up and finish up the Missouri game, watch the film, do our honor roll, make corrections, all those types of things on Monday. And then Monday night, a lot of our coaches just went on the road recruiting. It's just time you got to get on the road. And you get so many opportunities to have evaluations this time of year. So we took advantage of Tuesday, and we're doing the same thing tomorrow. But the last couple of days we've been studying the film and starting to implement the game plan. Offense, defense, kicking game. So we're ahead of the game, and we'll be further ahead. Sunday we'll be a little further along. Plus, next week's Monday won't have to be devoted to the game prior. We'll have Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays all to focus on Florida rather than using Monday to clean up the last game. So we're ahead of the game, and it's pretty typical how we're going about it.
Coach Sherrod not there today.
Recruiting.
How are you feeling at this point about John Atkins and Jordan Jenkins maybe having a chance to play against Florida?
I say it's questionable right now. Neither one of them have practiced yet, so we'll just have to see if Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a pretty good stretch. So hopefully with the treatment and rest, hopefully they'll be able to get to practice.
is it a situation where both of those guys being hurt like that, you ask them to stay in town and keep getting treated and do the?
Well, they're both, I'm pretty sure they're both gonna stay in town. But there are things they can do. Ron has things they can transport, or take with them and get some treatment on their own.
This week off coming at a perfect time for Sony to let him kind of get that.
Yeah, I
going
think so.
right.
A lot of guys. I mean, so many guys are just banged up, and you know, we talk about getting people healthy and giving everybody rest, but we did work hard yesterday and today because we still feel like there's some things we got to get better at fundamentally. So, you know, I was saying it's a balance of trying to get all that done. Now, the stretch from tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, that's by far the longest stretch since camp began of anybody having some free time to let their body rest and just get a little bit of a break from it. So I'm hoping that'll be therapeutic for everybody, coaches included, and get everybody a little bit, revived and ready to go for the second half of the season.
And I know it came at a good time to buy a week, but this is kind of where you like to have one every year, or I know
It's a
right
good
before
spot. I
Florida,
mean,
yeah.
somewhere around mid-season is a good spot. I mean, some years you get two. I think one of my first or second year, might have been 2002. It seemed like we had one week 2, or no, maybe that was when 9/11. Was 9/11? No, that was 2001.
That would have been over.
Yeah, it was
That was
early
my
when you
first
were
year.
here. I know that, yeah.
I think my second year, it seemed like early anyway, we had like an open date the second game, and then we went like 10, 11,